My brain feels like absolute mush and I think it might explode. But before it explodes, I'm trying to make sense of everything going on. I'm trying. This is the most volatile I have seen the wrestling community in a long time, really, if ever. A little backstory on me if you're new. I started watching wrestling when I was a kid around 1997, really at the rise of The Rock. I left for a little while when I was in high school and college. I came back to it around 2015, 2016. Like I said, the wrestling community right now is very volatile. They are coming at me and loving to be like, she's a casual fan. She doesn't actually care about wrestling. She wouldn't be saying these things if that wasn't true. Calm down. Last week, I posted my reaction video to The Rock returning again to face Roman Reigns. We didn't get a lot of answers in that little altercation. All we got was that Cody said in order to finish his story, he was going to take everything away from Roman Reigns. In comes The Rock. Very vague if you ask me. So I'm just going to run through some thoughts and some points. I don't have a clear-cut, solid, this is the way I feel. I'm going to be real with you. I am very indifferent to what's happening. I'm not running around doing hashtag we want Cody. I'm not, we want Rocky. I'm not fighting with anyone over everything because I don't feel very strongly one way or the other. I think I'm very in the middle of the road. I understand the confusion with where we're heading. I understand wanting The Rock. I'm very confused about a lot of the outrage, and it makes me unsure of how I feel myself. One of the biggest points of confusion for me when it comes to a lot of the outrage is that this was out of left field. I don't understand saying it's out of left field or that it's unprecedented because The Rock showed up, was it a month ago or a few weeks back, basically calling out Roman Reigns, standing in the middle of the ring and asking if he should take a seat at the head of the table. And this is why my brain is feeling like mush, because at the same time, I understand the confusion because Cody Rhodes stood on the side of the ring at the end of winning the Royal Rumble and pointed at Roman while Roman was up in the suites and Roman was holding the belt at him, and they had this altercation and Cody's screaming at him like, you, I pick you. So, I think at one point they probably had a direction of where things were going to go, and then CM Punk got hurt. I don't like to fantasy book things. I don't like to think too much, and I don't like to think too far ahead. So as far as why things ended up the way they are or where they're headed, I don't necessarily care to discuss. I don't need to pinpoint and prove how good I am at this by letting you know what I think is happening. I don't necessarily care. I'm gonna watch and see. I'm gonna sit back and I'm gonna watch what happens because no matter what, it's going to happen. I know a lot of people might think that the fans are hijacking the outcome of what happens at WrestleMania right now with the We Want Cody movement. It's very reminiscent of what happened with Daniel Bryan, the Yes movement. It's very reminiscent of what happened with Kofi Mania. The biggest thing that I keep pointing out is the fact that the WWE, despite what you would like to say, is not stupid. In making decisions, they are already gauging what the fan reaction is going to be, and I highly doubt that they did not anticipate any kind of backlash or negativity when it came to making this decision. I have felt very off since the weekend about this being the end-all be-all. We have a press conference happening on Thursday, a WrestleMania press conference, which I'm not sure has ever happened before. And then Cody tweeted this tweet. And it makes me wonder if there was a plan all along as to where this was headed without fan reaction. I don't care if they change things and you feel the need to say, oh, they changed this and they're going to act like this was the plan the whole time. Honestly, who cares? It makes my brain hurt. I might be out of my mind saying something like this, but this isn't necessarily the same WWE we were dealing with when Vince was in power. We have a lot of new people in creative and in control of what things are happening, and I think the talent also has more of a say as far as what's happening within their own storylines. I don't know a lot about The Rock's position in TKO or how much say or pull that has in what he's doing in creative. What I did want to touch on was another thing that people are saying, as this is a distraction from the Vince situation. I disagree with you. I don't know that WWE went into this and was like, I know how we're going to distract them from what's going on. Bring in The Rock. I don't think that that was the case because, again, you are underestimating WWE's knowledge. They are not stupid. I guarantee you they had forethought of people saying that this was going to be a distraction. And it's not, because when they are saying that it's a distraction, we are directly giving attention to the Vince situation in itself. It is not a distraction. If anything, it's just reminding people that it's happening. Okay, now that I got that out of the way, a lot of people want me to fantasy book and you want me to really go down the rabbit hole of what I think is happening and why. And I've seen all of the different speculations and all of the theories of Roman not losing at WrestleMania. So why would we bring Cody and Roman at WrestleMania again when he's not finishing the story? That the reason that Roman is going to be retaining his title for the next year is because they want him to beat Hulk Hogan's record. I don't go off of speculation. I go off of facts. So when people say things like Dwayne is an egomaniac and he's taking the spotlight because he only cares about himself, or Cody looked really upset and he's just so heartbroken that this is happening at all, until it comes out of the mouth of the person themselves, I do not speculate because that is a waste of my time. In short, do I want to see Rock versus Roman? Yes. Do I want to see Roman versus Cody? Yes. Did I question what exactly Cody finishing his story at this point meant? Yes. I straight up asked my community, okay, what is finishing the story at this point? Is finishing the story beating Roman Reigns? Is finishing the story just winning the title and finishing what his dad started, no matter who the title is on? Would you be satisfied with Cody winning the title off of somebody else? Is that even a possibility this year? These are answers to questions that I do not have, and I will not pretend that I have. At this point, I am not sure that there is anything that could be done that would satisfy the masses. The outrage has happened. The has continued. I'm going to make a completely separate video on the fan reaction to not only talent, Ava Raine, and other wrestling fans. That'll be a separate video. People have absolutely lost their minds. Speculations that I have seen, because I don't normally speculate myself, are that The Rock is going to be the special guest referee. And I wish you guys would just let go of the special guest referee trope. In some situations, I think that makes sense. In this, I don't necessarily think that makes sense. How is Rock proving that he is the head of the table by being the special guest referee in a Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes match? I've also seen the speculations of one of these matches happening at Elimination Chamber, or that the title's not going to come off of Roman. And that's where I get confused, because what is the point of Roman and Cody if Roman doesn't have the title? I know we could go down an absolute rabbit hole and I don't want to. And this is why I say, because it's so confusing to me and there are so many different levels of what could happen, I'm not going to really concern myself with it. I'm going to watch, I'm going to see what happens, and then I will find out when you do. It's just not my thing. We will be talking about this situation more. This isn't the last you're hearing of me. I'm not only going to be talking about this on my podcast, Shootin' the Wheeze, I'm going to talk about, the fan reaction and things as they come along, because this is one of the biggest things to happen in pro wrestling in a long time. And I'm glad that it's inciting any kind of reaction, because that's what you want out of pro wrestling. If people aren't reacting, then people don't care. The only thing is, I think you're getting a little crazy with it.